Without further ado, the man, Kevin Kilner himself, you will recognize him. He's been on your TV screen and your film screen for 30 years. We're very lucky to have him, and my friend, Mr. Kevin Kilner.
You're going to see and hear a lot from you tonight. This is an incredible event. I'm honored, truly honored to be here. Honored to be back in Louisville. My wife worked at the Humana Festival a couple of years ago, and we both fell in love with Louisville. Our first performer has a deadline. He does have to do cabaret tonight, and he's pretty amazing. So, and he has a couple of his accompanying friends and musicians here. So we're going to welcome Tommy McDowell to our stage, Robert Cookman, he's the music director of Cabaret, the national tour, and they're joined by Preston Hayne, the trumpet player for the tour. All right?
Welcome and bienvenue, welcome. Stranger, glücklich zu sehen, je suis enchanté. Happy to see you, bleibe, reste, stay. Mesdames et messieurs, ladies and gentlemen, guten Abend, bonsoir, good evening, wie geht's? Comment ça va? Do you feel good? Yeah, I bet you do. Ich bin euer Komplizier, je suis votre compère. I am not your host. Kevin Kilner is welcome and bienvenue, welcome. Im cabaret, au cabaret, to cabaret. Leave your troubles outside. We have no troubles here. Here, life is beautiful. The healing tree is beautiful. Even the CEO is beautiful. And each and every one of you here who are making such a significant impact in supporting such a worthy cause, you are so beautiful. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the evening for me. For soon I have to go back to the Kit Kat Club before I turn into the pumpkin, yeah? Welcome and bienvenue, welcome in cabaret, oh cabaret, to someday, when I'm awfully low and the world is cold, I will feel a glow just thinking of you and the way you look tonight. You're lovely, never ever change. Keep that breathless charm. Won't you please arrange it? 'Cause I love you and the way you look tonight. With each word, your tenderness grows, tearing my fear apart. And that laugh that wrinkles your nose touches my foolish heart. You're so lovely, never ever change. Keep that breathless charm. Won't you please arrange it? 'Cause I love you and the way you look tonight.
Really honored to be here, and everybody in this room should feel honored because this is the beginnings of and Marissa's going to talk about it in more detail now, but the beginnings of something that not only is necessary and absolutely needed throughout the United States, this can become a model throughout the world, and she's going to tell you about it right now. So I'm just very passionate about it, if you can't tell already. And now I'm going to bring up the one, the beautiful, the lovely, the founder, the creator of Healing Tree, Ms. Marissa Gavani.
We started this organization in direct response to a vast need that we saw during my own healing journey. I come from a non-abusive background, an unconditionally loving background. You've probably met my father, Majid, who owns this place, and I hope you'll meet my lovely mother, Debbie, the prettiest woman in the room. Go say hi to her. And so I grew up very, very well, and I grew up, going to a great school, and I skipped a grade in school and got into USC and NYU at 16, and I won the Apollo when I was a kid at 13, and got discovered by Suzanne DePass, who discovered Michael Jackson, and took me out to LA. And I'm telling you these things not to brag. I tell you these things to tell you that what happened to me can happen to anyone. The only thing that I didn't have going for me is that I didn't know what a sociopath was. I didn't know what love bombing was. I didn't know what gaslighting was. And I think a lot of people at 17 don't. And they don't know red flags beyond someone screaming or throwing things. So from the ages of 17 to 19, I was in a very abusive situation. Abusive in many forms. But by the end of it, one can only call it a one-on-one cult. Also didn't know that could happen. That's an actual thing. Cult experts actually tell us that can be the most damaging because the perpetrator spends all of their energy on this one victim. By the end of these various forms of abuse, and especially spiritual abuse and brainwashing, I was completely a robot. I was a zombie. You wouldn't have recognized me. So my blue eyes were nearly black and sunken in. I used to have porcelain skin in high school, and it was covered with cystic acne. I was so hunched over that I looked like I'd lost a few inches. I do voiceover work now, and my voice has always been kind of low. I spoke up here like I was about 10. I couldn't make eye contact. I was diagnosed with complex post-traumatic stress disorder. A lot of people don't know that that's actually more common outside of the military, in no way to deny the horrors that our veterans face, and we're so appreciative of them. But people don't know that many civilians have it as well. And I also had psychogenic non-epileptic seizures, so I was literally shaking because of the trauma. And so I had to spend about 5 years getting well, and I worked with Dr. Hardy back there sometimes 4 times a week, at least 1 time a week. And we worked very, very hard for a very, very long time. And we worked in treatment modalities beyond your traditional talk therapy, and we'll talk a little bit more about treatment modalities that are actually effective for trauma later. But we worked hard, and I made a full recovery. And by that I mean, thank you, Debbie clapped. And so what I realized, though, was that while nobody that I knew was in a one-on-one cult, while no one that I knew had severe complex post-traumatic stress disorder or psychogenic seizures, almost everybody that I knew had experienced what I later learned was some form of trauma. So childhood neglect, bullying, domestic violence, date rape, also some lesser talked about forms like spiritual abuse or emotional abuse that people sometimes say, well, does that even count, And what I noticed around me was that these people were having symptoms, and maybe it wasn't full-blown PTSD, but it was something. And so I started doing research when I was well enough, and what I found was that the trauma experts confirmed my instincts, which was that so much mental illness, so much addiction, so much even physical illness, violence, crime, suicide is due to trauma. And that there is a huge disconnect because that is not common knowledge. In fact, it's something that we sweep under the rug, and it shouldn't be swept under because it is nothing less than a public health crisis. So I wanted to volunteer with an organization that dealt with trauma at the forefront, and I kept finding mental illness organizations or abuse organizations, and the fields just weren't integrated. I couldn't find one that dealt with trauma. And I thought, well, if that's the key, this trauma-focused treatment and knowledge is the key to me actually getting well, why isn't that the focus of these organizations? And so I got really mad for about 10 minutes, and then I said, well, then I have to start one. So that is really the story of why we're here in a nutshell. That is why I decided to start this, and why Dr. Hardy and why Debbie said, yeah, we have to do this. So I just wanted to share with you just a little bit. So now maybe you feel like you know kind of why you're here. And if none of that makes sense, just have fun, because we're going to have a great time tonight. And we'll talk a little bit more, but your support tonight is going to be used to create the programs that I saw, my mother saw, Dr. Hardy had seen for probably 30 years, that need to be in place to create a society where basically our mission is to transform how society responds to abuse and interpersonal trauma. So we want to create a society where every person, regardless of the fact that they grew up with a lovely family, regardless of the fact that they have the resources, financial or otherwise, every person has the chance to heal. And we have a plan for that, and that is what your money is supporting tonight. So thank you so much.
You really got to put your hands together, because this is a real treat, and you're going to see real world-class talent right here. Christine Bianco right here on the stage.
Every woman, they're only me. Watch. You are beautiful, no matter what they say. Words can't bring me down, no. So won't you bring me down today?
Barbara Streisand?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sitting alone in your room, come hear the music play. Life is a cabaret, hold your minutes, come to the cabaret.
Yeah. That's Edith Piaf. Edith Piaf.
The original.
Yeah.
Well, now they know. Let it go, let it go. Can't hold it back anymore. Let it go, let it go. Turn away at the door. Let the story done. Never bothered me anyway. I want it, and the fears that once controlled me can't get to me at all. Celine, it's time to see what I can do to test the limits and break through. No right, no wrong, no rules for me. I'm free. Channel it. Let it go. Let it go. Rejoice.
Christina Bianco. I
Thank you to every single one of you. Truly, 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 thank you.